Keanu Reeves gave every single stunt crew member on the Matrix Reloaded a brand new Harley-Davidson. 12 bikes, just like that, out of his own pocket. But the bikes he kept for himself tell a way bigger story. From a vintage Norton he rode 1,300 miles to convince River Phoenix to join a movie, to a motorcycle company he co-founded that sells hand-built machines for over $128,000 each, Keanu has quietly assembled one of the wildest two-wheeled collections in Hollywood. These are 12 motorcycles from his garage, and every single one of them has a story you will not forget. Number 12. The 1974 BMW R75/6. This is one of the quietest bikes in the entire collection. The R75/6 runs a 745cc air-cooled boxer twin engine that pushes out just 50 horsepower. Top speed sits around 109 miles per hour, and the whole thing weighs 463 pounds. By any standard, that is not fast, but that is exactly the point. Keanu did not buy this bike to race. He bought it to disappear for a few hours on an empty road. No pressure, no paparazzi, just the hum of that flat twin engine underneath him. Before BMW became known for high-tech sport bikes, they made these laid-back touring machines that were all about comfort over speed. And the R75/6 fits that philosophy perfectly. It is a late afternoon ride into the sunset kind of bike. However, do not let the relaxed nature of this motorcycle fool you into thinking the whole collection is this calm, because it gets wild from here. Number 11. The Kawasaki KZ900. Keanu picked this one up back in 1996 while he was living in Chicago filming Chain Reaction. The KZ900 is a classic from the mid-1970s, originally built to compete with Honda in the American market. It carries a 903cc inline four-cylinder engine producing around 72 horsepower. Nothing insane by modern standards. But back when Kawasaki first dropped this bike, it was a serious machine. The design is pure old-school cool, and it rides with the kind of smooth, steady power that makes long city rides feel effortless. Keanu has said before that he often buys a used motorcycle wherever he is filming, rides it during production, then sells it when the shoot wraps up. But the KZ900 never left. He held on to it, which tells you something about how this bike made him feel. And that emotional connection to machines runs through every single entry on this list. Number 10. The 1984 Harley-Davidson Shovelhead. The Shovelhead was the last of its kind. 1984 was the final year Harley-Davidson produced this engine, and the name comes from the rocker covers that look like the back of a coal shovel. It runs a V-twin with a deep, raw rumble that pretty much defined the sound of American motorcycle culture for over a decade. This bike represented the carefree spirit of riding across the country with your friends, doing barbecues, and making memories without worrying about specs or lap times. For Keanu, that kind of energy hits close to home. He grew up in Toronto watching motorcycle gangs roll into the Yorkville neighborhood every summer. He called them pirates once, and the way those bikes sounded and the freedom those riders carried stayed with him his entire life. The Shovelhead is his connection to that childhood fascination. But while this bike looks to the past, the next one on the list goes in a completely different direction. Number 9. The Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R. This is the track weapon. The ZX-10R carries a 998cc liquid-cooled inline four-cylinder engine that cranks out 200 horsepower. It features fully adjustable Showa suspension up front, a Brembo braking system, and a racing ABS setup that monitors front brake pressure, throttle position, engine speed, and gear position all at the same time. This is the bike Keanu takes to Laguna Seca when he wants zero traffic, zero speed limits, and maximum adrenaline. He has said that being on the track is the best experience because there's nothing to worry about except the next corner. And according to the team at Arch Motorcycle, Keanu has a freaky ability to feel out a bike. He comes back from test rides with a list of changes that even the engineers did not notice. That natural sensitivity to how a machine moves is one of the reasons his business partner, Gard Hollinger, agreed to start a company with him. However, before any of that happened, there was a single bike that kicked off the whole obsession. Number 8. The Kawasaki 600 Enduro. This is where it all began. In the summer of 1986, A 22-year-old Keanu Reeves was filming at the Bavaria Filmplatz studio near Munich, Germany. He saw a woman on set riding a Kawasaki Enduro and asked her to teach him how to ride. She said yes, and that simple moment rewired his brain permanently. As soon as filming wrapped and he flew back to Los Angeles, he bought his own Kawasaki 600 Enduro. That was his very first motorcycle. The story goes that this original bike eventually got stolen during another film shoot, and nobody knows exactly what happened to it. But the damage was already done. Keanu was hooked on motorcycles for life. He once told an interviewer that he goes through withdrawals when he does not ride regularly. So a woman in Munich taught him to ride. His first bike got stolen, and he spent the next 4 decades buying and building some of the most incredible machines on 2 wheels. And the very next bike he bought after that, stolen Enduro, would become the most emotionally significant motorcycle in his entire collection. Number 7. The 1973 Norton Commando 850 MK2A. Keanu bought this bike around 1987 in Los Angeles, and it became his second motorcycle ever. He had been fascinated with Nortons since childhood because of their unique design, the upswept exhaust pipe and rubber-mounted featherbed frame, and that distinctive parallel twin rumble. The Commando 850 runs an 828cc air-cooled engine making around 60 horsepower with a top speed of 115 miles per hour. But the specs do not tell the real story. In December 1990, director Gus Van Sant sent Keanu to personally deliver a script to River Phoenix at his home near Gainesville, Florida. Phoenix's agent would not even show him the screenplay. So Keanu climbed on his Norton Commando and rode 1,300 miles from Toronto all the way to Florida in the dead of winter. He handed Phoenix the treatment for My Own Private Idaho, and Phoenix agreed to do the film. That role earned Phoenix the Best Actor award at the Venice Film Festival. Today, this Norton sits at a place of honor inside Arch Motorcycle headquarters. Keanu told GQ that he got a lot of good times on this motorcycle. But another Norton in his life did not get such a happy ending. One was stolen during a film shoot, and to this day, nobody knows where it went. The bikes that stay, though, as he put it, are family. Number 6. The 2005 Harley-Davidson Dyna Wide Glide. This is the motorcycle that accidentally started a company. The Dyna Wide Glide is a low-profile cruiser with chopper-inspired design elements, powered by a 1450cc twin-cam 88 engine with chrome exhausts, dual mufflers, and that classic Harley growl. Keanu loved this bike, but he wanted to personalize it. And someone introduced him to a custom builder named Gard Hollinger, who ran a shop called L.A. County Chop Rods. Hollinger took the Harley engine and built an entirely new motorcycle around it. Keanu was so blown away by the result that he proposed starting a motorcycle company together. Hollinger said no, multiple times. He already had a business, and building production motorcycles from scratch was a completely different animal. But Keanu kept pushing. For 5 years, they went back and forth on design philosophy, engineering principles, and what the perfect American motorcycle should feel like. And eventually, Hollinger gave in. That customized Dyna Wide Glide became the prototype for their very first production model. And speaking of that, the next 3 entries on this list come directly from the company those two built together. Number 5. The Arch KRGT1. The KRGT1 launched in September 2014, and it was the first production motorcycle from Arch. It runs a massive 2,032cc S and S cycle V-twin engine, producing 120 horsepower and 122 pound-feet of torque. The frame is a single-tube backbone design with CNC machined billet aluminum that doubles as a fuel cell. Every part is designed in-house, over 200 custom components per bike. The suspension is proprietary Öhlins, the wheels are BST carbon fiber, and the brakes are ISR 6-piston monoblocks. Keanu compared the design philosophy to the Porsche 911, a vehicle suited for daily use as well as outright speed, one that always looks beautiful and performs just as well. Each KRGT1 is made to order with a 90-day turnaround. Every seat, handlebar, and foot peg gets custom fitted to the buyer's body. The starting price sits at $85,000. As of a few years ago, Arch had produced roughly 45 of these machines total. However, Keanu himself does not technically own one. He has said that he borrows them instead, but he has logged over 50,000 test miles as the company's primary road tester. And his feedback is apparently so precise that it was one of the main reasons Hollinger agreed to build the company in the first place. Number 4. The Arch 1s. If the KRGT1 is the flagship cruiser, the 1S is a sportier sibling. Arch officially launched this model in October 2022 as the company's second production motorcycle. It shares the same 2032cc S and S V-twin as the KRGT1, but the riding position is more aggressive with mid-mounted controls and a forward lean that pulls the rider closer to the front wheel. The 1S also features a single-sided swing arm, which was a first for Arch, and it borrowed design elements from their Method 143 concept. The result is a bike that sits somewhere between a performance cruiser and a street sport, and Arch intentionally refuses to categorize it because nothing else on the market rides quite the same way. The price of the Arch 1S is $128,000 per build, and just like the KRGT1, every single unit is customized to the individual owner specifications. Keanu has said the 1S is more like a sport model compared to the KRGT1, and the way it handles on the track is a completely different experience. But even at $128,000, the 1S is not the wildest thing Arch has ever built. That honor goes to the next entry. Number 3. The Arch Method 143. Arch unveiled the Method 143 at the EICMA Motorcycle Show in Milan back in November 2017, and it turned heads immediately. This is a concept motorcycle with a 2,343cc S and S power plant wrapped inside a carbon fiber monocoque frame. The whole body is built from carbon fiber, aluminum, and fine leather. It gets BST ultra-thin blade turbine 7-spoke carbon fiber wheels, an aluminum fuel cell, aerodynamic belly pan, and a billet aluminum headlight housing with fork arrow foils. Only 23 units were ever planned for production, and the Method 143 has another claim to fame that goes beyond the motorcycle world. When CD Projekt Red was developing the video game Cyberpunk 2077, they approached Keanu and Hollinger about integrating Arch bikes into the game. The Method 143 became the direct inspiration for a futuristic motorcycle you can ride through Night City in the game. They even recorded real audio from Arch bikes from the in-game sound design. Hollinger described the Cyberpunk version as 143-ish because it has a different powertrain and styling to match the year 2077. But the DNA is all Arch. And yet, even with a carbon fiber concept bike and a video game crossover, the most expensive machine in this entire collection is still coming. Number 2. The El Diablo West Coast Chopper. This is the one that cost Keanu approximately $150,000. Built by Jesse James of West Coast Choppers fame, the El Diablo is a fully custom motorcycle finished in glossy black, with a one-off gas tank featuring the company's Iron Cross logo engraved by artist Tay Herrera. It runs an S and S engine, cranking out 140 horsepower with chrome wheels engraved with bullets and Brembo brake calipers in chrome to match. The whole aesthetic is aggressive, rebellious, and loud. West Coast Choppers makes very few bikes per year, and most of them are custom orders for wealthy clients and celebrities. So getting one at all is already rare. But Keanu has said this bike connects him back to those Toronto motorcycle gangs he watched as a 10-year-old kid. Those pirates, as he called them, with their wild bikes and free spirits. The El Diablo is his version of that fantasy built in chrome, leather, and raw American metal. However, there is one motorcycle left in this collection that outranks all the others, and it is not because of price or horsepower. It is because of what it represents. Number 1. The 2004 Ducati 998 Matrix Reloaded Edition. You remember the freeway chase from the Matrix Reloaded. Trinity launches a Ducati off the top of a semi-truck, weaving through oncoming traffic while being hunted by Agent Smiths. That scene was not CGI. It was performed by stunt legend Debbie Evans on a Ducati 996, since the 998 had not been released yet at the time of filming. The response from audiences was so massive that Ducati later produced a limited edition 998 with Matrix green paint, Matrix Reloaded graphics, gold clutch and brake levers, a silver-tinted windscreen, and a Termignani exhaust system. The bike pushes 123 horsepower from a 998cc Testoretta L-twin engine and can run the quarter mile in 10.9 seconds with a top speed of 170 miles per hour. An estimated 150 to 340 of these bikes were made worldwide, and collectors now pay 6 figures for them. The Wachowskis, who wrote and directed The Matrix, originally held onto the film-used motorcycle, But Keanu and his team eventually became the custodians of this exact bike. It is the actual motorcycle from the movie. Carrie Ann Moss had never ridden a motorcycle before filming. She learned to ride a Ducati 996 specifically for her role as Trinity. Keanu once joked that this Ducati survived a crash that burned through his pants, but not his determination to ride. Today, this machine sits in his collection as a living artifact from one of the greatest action sequences in film history. Keanu Reeves did not just collect motorcycles. He built a company around them, tested them for over 50,000 miles, and turned his childhood obsession with Toronto bike gangs into a legitimate legacy. If you want to see another collection that will blow your mind, that video is on screen right now. Subscribe so you do not miss it.